Femcells. What are femcells? It's kind of the female equivalent of an incel. And again, you can see that this exposes the matriarchy we live in the West. The matriarchy that tricks people into trying to tell you that it's a patriarchy. It's bullshit. A lot of people believe it, though. Feminists, some obviously lying, some believe we live in a patriarchy. It's complete bullshit. We live in a matriarchy. We have for at least 10 years now. And we've been moving towards a matriarchy for decades. And this is another place you can see it. What's an incel? Incel is an involuntary celibate male, hated by society, laughed at, ridiculed by everyone. Security threat, even though most incels are completely harmless. Security threat, it's going to, blow people up, yada, yada, yada. What's a femcell? A femcell is a celibate female. May or may not be voluntary, because even some disgusting fat chick can get laid. So that there isn't really such a thing as a female incel in an involuntary sense. But it's a woman who doesn't have sex, or doesn't have kids. How does society look at them? Do they look at them as a freak? Do they look at them as disgusting? Security threat? No. A femcell, they wouldn't use the word femcell. Emma Watson recently talked about it as self-partnering. And if anyone wants to do that, it's entirely up to her. I don't really care. If she does want kids, she's 30 now, and she wants to settle down with kids and a man. You should start thinking about it at 30, because you might miss it and you might regret it later. But it's up to you what you do. But yeah, of course. So what does society think about female incels, or the closest equivalent? Yeah, you go, girl. That's strong, self-partnered woman. Yeah, strong woman, girl power. You don't need no man. You do you, girl. Male equivalent. Oh, someone call the police. Who is this fucking incel scumbag? Oh, it's disgusting. He's creepy. Get him away from me. Disgusting. How can a society that treats these two equivalent groups like that be called a patriarchy? It's fucking ridiculous. Seriously. How can anyone honestly believe we live in a patriarchy when this is how men and women are treated? The double standards are ridiculous. As we know, the left which has been taken over by the far left, is a house of cards built on double standards. And this is just another glaring one. Like you can only deny this kind of stuff for so long before you just red pill yourself, before you see what's really happening. Society hates men. Society hates whites. Society hates straight white men, especially on the left. But the left has taken over all major institutions now. So femcells are yet another example of the double standards of society, bigging up and loving women on the one hand, when men do exactly the same thing, vilifying them. And actually, incels are involuntarily celibate. They don't want to be celibate. Emma Watson's choosing to be celibate. I think she could probably get laid if she wanted to. She's choosing to at least be single, be self-partnering, which maybe that implies that she's celibate as well. But incels don't want to be incels, but they get vilified for involuntarily being in a situation. Whereas Emma Watson chooses to do the same thing. Oh, you go, girl. It's amazing. It's just the fucking double standards never end.